don't be surprised if we wind up getting some trolls.
All right, why would that be?
Well, the format supposedly brings in it goes farther out. Like this is vertical form
Yeah,
versus
see
the
that.
standard landscape format.
Okay, I'm feeling very skinny tonight looking at that. Feeling very skinny.
Makes you feel like you lost a little weight.
It does, even though I haven't. Even though I haven't. I'm just glad I'm coming through okay because my Mac was doing double duty here, getting on with you for StreamYard and uploading tomorrow's episode onto YouTube. So
Oh no.
two video tasks at once, but I think that's done now. So it's uploaded. Okay. All right.
You
So
could have
that's
let me know. We could have held off.
no, that's all right. My computer needed to be tested anyway. I'm too easy on it. I needed to give it a little more work than usual.
I'll say my computer's been doing funky things.
What's it been doing?
Um, like I'll be in the middle of listening to some live stream and I'll mute it. It'll pause it. I have to go over and hit the unpause button. Like someone manually is pausing it, and I'm like, what the heck is going on
Somebody's
with my laptop?
hacking your system there, D. Somebody's hacking it and hitting the mute button.
Yeah.
So when you mute for you or mute for other people?
Mute for me. Like
you can't hear them.
Huh?
You can't hear them or they can't hear you.
I can't hear you. What I'm saying is like you're live.
Yeah.
On your lives Monday.
Yeah.
My computer kept muting it, and I'd have to go in and turn it right back up. So
I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe your computer just doesn't like me.
No, that's not it at all. Because it's done it to others. The others, though, it's actually literally pausing it where I have to unpause it.
I don't know what that would be. It might be a streaming issue. Maybe it's too much bandwidth or something.
Well, you know, they've got, like I said, the new format. So with the new format, it could just be, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Don't know. I have to admit, you're the only person that's told me any with issues. I mean, I should know that people are more than happy to tell me about issues, audio issues they have with the live show or the podcast. I mean, that's been a very traditional thing since the beginning. Haven't had any. I think maybe a couple people did say maybe on Monday that it was garbled for a little bit, but didn't get anything about being muted.
Delete the comment. Okay, anything nice said in here, it will be deleted after the first time. Second time, you don't get a second warning. I don't have a mod tonight.
Yep. Just get them out of there.
You will be deported.
Take no prisoners.
All right.
On my live show, like early on, Cherie would be there, but man, I haven't had it used to be early on, we'd get all the porn, go to this site, this stuff. It does not happen anymore. And the live show is just as popular as it's always been. Not overtly popular, but we get about the same listeners, viewers for, at least a few years. Just nothing. It's really weird. It just kind of all went away.
Well, like I said, it's the new format. Like they keep saying, it pushes it farther out into the algorithm. And with that said, it brings in, you know what I mean? Sometimes some unsavory characters.
Good. I'm glad you're paying attention to this stuff, D. I had no idea about a new format and all that. That's all news to me.
Oh, I logged in and I was like, I think it was Monday. And that's whenever the audio, my computer started just like, nope, we ain't doing this. Because I went to someone's live and I was like, wait a minute here. It says, because you can, if you paid like the $40 a month for StreamYard, you can do both vertical and landscape. Does that tell you guys I'm a cheapskate?
I have to admit, I don't even know what I pay. I have no idea. And the thing is, I never do any like this horror, what is this vertical? I never do that.
Any of the weird stuff.
I don't know.
Well, I figure people need to get to know who, Ed Denzel is from Unfound and somehow find my channel.
Right. Right.
So you said you had a couple of cases to discuss tonight on people who have been found.
Yeah, but I wanted to, we've talked about Mikey Vaughn, little Mikey Vaughn who went missing. It was on my mind because I don't remember. Maybe you have, but I don't remember. Being that, I am not. I mean, certainly we've covered the disappearance of children on Unfound, but you of course know my standpoint on that. Sometimes it's very, very difficult to cover them. But in my mind, you are a person who follows a lot of child disappearances, and I don't know if I've really ever gotten your in-depth analysis of that. And where do you think these people did something, or what do you think happened that day? I don't know if we've ever really in depth talked about that. That's why I brought that up.
To me, Michael's case has always felt different than Summer's case. From day one, it felt different. And then videos started popping up of one of the roommates of these unsavory people was walking at the time Michael come up missing.
Huh.
It was right on camera.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I believe you. That's weird. I've never heard that. Never seen that.
Yeah. And then there was speculation, who is this person? And then it came out who the person was after, I think, Stacy was arrested for the gun charge in 2022.
Right.
And then he said that Sarah had killed somebody, I think was what he said.
Yeah.
And led the police to where he claimed the body was buried.
Right.
Cadaver dogs did hit on it. They dug it up and found toys and clothing.
Right.
It's always felt different than Summer's case. If that makes any sense to me.
Okay. So you think this was really just a coincidence? Mikey this little kid strolls away by himself.
Yeah.
And one of those people was also out walking, and just person took him back to their house.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Wow.
And now we have a conviction that says pretty much the exact same thing.
Well, nobody's been convicted.
Not a conviction, but what is it? I
thought it was charges again. I know that years ago, like you said, they went over there, they dug up that area, and where Mikey, allegedly was, and he wasn't there. But now, I got the idea. It kind of went away, and now it's coming back again now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
But that anybody's been convicted at anything. No. Have been charged again or something.
There's been so much going on. Like I said, you have the one conviction that I'm just ecstatic over. But yes, he was charged with it and to be extradited. He had 30 days to be extradited in from Arizona to
Mm-hmm.
the part of Utah, or not Utah, Ohio.
So they just took this kid and killed him. That's what you think?
Yeah.
Wow. So do you think that Mikey was actually buried in that backyard at some point?
I don't know if he was buried there or if the items, because at first, what the gentleman that was supposedly visiting his son said he knew where to sell Michael. And at
Oh.
first, they tried to sell.
Where
That's
at? Where?
I guess the black market. That's all I can come up with.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So they just coincidentally do this, and then all of a sudden they're in the child trafficking business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do they live? How far do these people live away from where Mikey was?
They live 2 blocks.
Just a couple blocks, right?
Yeah, within a couple of blocks.
Is there anything that you've ever heard that leads you to believe that these people even knew each other before all this happened?
No, I have not heard anything to make me think that Stacy and Sarah knew Brandy or even Brandy's husband prior to this so far. Now, whenever we go to court, it might come up as something completely different. You're shaking your head.
Yeah, that is something. Kid goes from strolling out of the house by himself to running into the wrong person to getting trafficked within 24 hours.
Well, and then they couldn't find anyone to buy him, supposedly. So they didn't even traffic him. They duct taped his mouth shut and put him inside a tote bag, what you carry your basketball shorts with and stuff to the gym. A gym bag, I guess.
Okay.
And carried him off.
Okay.
I've heard that.
It's just weird. Of course, I would never be involved in that anyway. But it's weird. Like I said, I'm not, it's just going through my head. Is there any proof that they were involved in child trafficking? Let's just put it maybe child sex trafficking before, or is this the first time?
Not that I know of.
Huh. I'm just, once again, the way I think about it, all right, they, where would they even attempt to do this? Where'd they go down to like the local truck stop with Mikey? I mean, once again, if you've heard, or where did they try to traffic him? How, if you've never done this before, where do you even start?
Yeah, that would be the first question, huh? And especially whenever you find out that the guy who was the mastermind behind that had a child of his own.
Yeah.
You really start asking questions,
So when that one all went, when all that all went down in 2022, it seemed like one was trying to roll over on the other. Did it not?
Yeah.
He's saying that she did this, but none of that went anywhere.
Yeah, they dropped all the charges, and then came back to this now. And so we have video. Like I said, there was a video that was dropped where you hear Chris Madonna, the guy from California, the sheriff, or was a cop or sheriff, police chief, something.
Huh?
Ellie, who coerced a kid into taking or saying he did something he didn't do. You hear him talking with Stacy about it and having Stacy, was it Stacy? That's the guy, right? Sarah
Right.
was the female.
Right.
Stacy walking him through the house and then walking him to where they supposedly buried him.
But nothing was found there.
Mm-mm.
So if we're to believe they buried him, and then for some reason,
Dug
you
him
know,
up.
this was something that I don't know if I brought it up on Monday night or not when I just talked about this right at the end of the live show. I mean, how often is it that a body gets buried and then gets dug up again? I have no idea. It seemed, my idea would be that it sounds to be rare. It would be rare. And why would they bury him and then dig him back up?
Especially when you already carried him away and dropped the tote, the bag and stuff off somewhere else, with a live child in it. Why would you take it home, go get it, take it home, find out he's dead or deceased? I guess I can be civil about it, and then go bury it in the backyard, and then dig it up from there, and no one knows where it's at. It makes no sense.
I guess I'm not saying I don't believe. I think you're telling the entire truth there, D. This just all sounds pretty wacky to me.
I mean, it just is crazy.
They do it for criminals and drug users and whatever else to that point. But you suddenly see it in the suddenly in child trafficking business.
Yeah, like I said, it was crazy. How they went about this. I printed off one of the most recent. Was it the most recent thing I found on it from November 3rd?
Okay.
Yeah. And I haven't read over it completely. I'm going to be honest with you. I looked at it. Talk. Okay, so I did print off the Charlie Project on it.
Right.
Was the first thing I printed off, which was Michael 2021 if you go to the Charlie Project, you can find the age progressed photo to 7 as of 2023. Unidentified witnesses, Stacy Wonder. How's they unidentified? Stacy Wonder, Sarah Wonder, Sarah and Stacy Wanderer. Brandon and Adrian. I'm not even going to give the last names of those two. Like I said, I know how I feel about them. You guys can go look it up. Missing since 7/27. 7 of 2007, 2021. Missing from Fruitland, Idaho. Classified non-family abduction, sex male, race white, birth date was I had all that birth date. There it is. Okay, 6/24 of 2016, age 6. Age 5 when he went missing, age 6 now. His height was 3'7". His weight was between 40 to 50 pounds. Clothing light blue 4-6T with a Minecraft logo on it.
Yeah.
Dark blue or black spandex boxer shorts with the Minecraft guy on it. The creeper guy.
Yeah.
And dark blue size 11 flip-flop sandals.
Wow.
He was blonde hair, blue-eyed male. Michael was his name and Monkey was his nickname.
Right. Wow.
Michael was, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You inclined to think this type of disappearance is common? Kids just wandering out and then just coincidentally running into like the worst person on the block. What do you think about that?
I look at Summer Wells's case. And I thought that from day one with the Summer Wellses, and then I changed to no, she wandered off, but she literally wandered off. You know what I mean? She didn't run into somebody where she literally wandered off and the elements got her. With him, it wasn't the elements. That's the reason why I keep, like, even Nicholas being 11, I keep a very, very close tab on him. He didn't come home twice. At the time I expected, I was calling the school, I was calling the bus stop, I was calling everybody. Where's my kid? He's not here yet. We're in a small town, so it's one of those, they have already walkie-talkie system where they're like, someone's looking for the kid.
Where do you end up being?
Both time it was the bus driver's fault.
Oh, wow.
Once it was a substitute bus driver, and he said that if he ever did something like that again, he'd bring him to my front door. The other one was he fell asleep, but they still brought him home.
Wow.
So, but both times I flipped out. You would think the schools would call.
I'm sure you flipped out, of course.
Yesterday at 1:00, I got a message across my phone that said a child had been out on the playground and fell. Michael got the same message at 1:30. And I was like, should we call and check on Nicholas? He said they contained all the kids in the classroom. He goes, if it was Nicholas, wouldn't they have called you? Well, you would hope so.
Right. Right. But it wasn't Nicholas, right? He was not the one who fell.
It wasn't Nicholas. He's good.
Okay.
He's good. He's ornery, but he's good.
What do you make, now that I'm looking at this, I'm on the Charlie Project page like you are, what do you make of this witness? They have this photo of this witness. What, do you think this person plays a part in this or not? Because it says, photo of a man is posted with this case summary. It should be emphasized that he is not a suspect or person of interest in Michael's disappearance, only a possible witness. I'd like to identify this man walking through the splash pad area of Crestview Park around the time of Michael's disappearance. Any insight into that?
I was going to say, was that Brian or Adrian?
I don't know. The thing said it's just unidentified. On the Charlie Project, it says that the person is unidentified.
Yeah, I think somewhere I heard that was either that it was the white roommate. Sorry, because one of the roommates was African American, the other one was a white guy.
Yeah, because it's just, further down here, authorities said they believe other people besides Sarah know what happened to Michael. They identified two people, Brandon Shurtleff and Adrian Lucian, who may have firsthand knowledge of the crime. So you think this is Adrian in that picture?
Yeah.
You do.
I really do. Because the hair color looks blonde to me, even though it's a black and white photo. It's a light shade of hair color. He has on a black baseball cap. He's built scrawny. Black basketball shorts on. And tennis shoes.
Wow. All right, so maybe the Charlie Project information is a little dated because it's still saying this person's still unidentified.
I was thinking that was who grabbed him, honestly. I thought that was who they finally decided.
Okay.
Grabbed him.
That is bad luck. If that is what happened, if that is proven to be what happened, that this kid just strolls out on his own and runs into like the worst people within a couple blocks, that is just the worst luck ever. Wow. And then, of course, on top, we actually saw this happen. Right.
Yeah. But like I
Hmm.
said, look at Summer's case. If my theory's right on her,
Yeah.
you know,
Kids walk off, right? Kids, little kids like that, they just
yeah.
somehow get out
There
of
was.
it and keep going.
I see. I have a kid in here. Um, we ain't have doing that.
Hmm. Wow. Well, I have to admit, this was an Unfound Now way back when this happened. And if this is the case, if this is all true, then of course I missed this one. I just thought that the kid, walked off and something happened to him out in the
Yeah.
woods around the area. But
Well, I mean, there are several out there that are that way. But see,
yeah.
that's where I think you were backwards. I think Summers was a walk off, where his was a grab and run.
Okay. Wow. Well, we'll see where this goes. Of course, it doesn't sound like if these people are the guilty ones, it doesn't sound like they have a line on where Mikey's body is, does it?
Yeah, which is sad. Or they do and they haven't said anything to the cops, or the cops already know and haven't said anything to the public yet. Which, they're allowed to lie to us. I keep repeating that. They can tell us one thing.
Right. Right. Know what's to say here? A photo posted. She said police stated she told them she, quote unquote, definitely did not kill that boy, but that the Most High God just told me that Stacy was the one who killed him and buried him in the backyard by the shed. She later changed her story and said a man named Adrian had killed Michael. See, this is, I have to admit, this is why there is a part of me that doubts all of this. They just
Adrian was
sound crazy. They just sound crazy.
Well, if I told you that there was a little Majway Tawa with all four of them, how would you react to that one?
That little what? I'm sorry, a little what?
Majway Trois. I'm trying to be nice.
Wow.
I'm trying to be clean about it.
They were in some open sort of relationship or something.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, okay. All right. Fine by me. All right. Maybe this is a murder. Maybe Michael was murdered. It just sounds like these people are so kooky that they're liable to say anything about anything,
I
And
think their biggest thing is that dog. What they're
of course, this happened. He went missing. He went missing on July 27th, 2021. So right before I turned 51.
Yeah.
And then they went but it wasn't until November of 2022. So a year and 4 months later, 3 months later, 4 months later, that they went to this residence. What was it? Do you have any idea what turned the police onto these people in the first place?
The fact that I think they picked him up for a gun charge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was allowed to have guns. I think it was he had a warrant, and she turned him in for the gun.
And then from that, it was to Mikey Vaughn.
Yep.
Okay.
From that, it involved this because he turned her. In return, he turned her in for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, of course, some years ago, I covered the disappearance of Brandy. What was it? Brandy Myers from Arizona, who, was going door to door and stumbled onto the wrong guy's doorstep. The guy who was eventually found to have killed many women or girls. So I guess it could happen with Mikey too. He's walking down the street and runs into the wrong neighbor.
Yeah. Anyone else in their right mind would have took him to the police department, if you ask me.
Right. That's like I said, this is bad luck. And of course, we still don't know how.
You know.
Would you say, D?
I said it reminds me of Chancey Bird. It was bad luck.
Yeah.
Even on his end.
Right. Right.
I think
we still don't know how little Mikey, escaped that house in the first place. Where was the adult that was supposed to be watching him?
Well, I think it was the husband, and he had walked into the other room to change Michael's diaper and asked if someone in the household, I think her father, or maybe it was his father, to keep an eye on him, that he was in the living room watching TV. The grandfather's like, okay, he's in there watching TV. Yeah, we're good, you know.
Okay.
And I'm going, he's 5. The first time Nicholas got mad at me and said he was going to run away, he was 6. So, yeah. That's whenever I was like, something's wrong with this child. Versus what I see, something's wrong with him.
How far did he get?
He made it all. Well, at the time we lived at an RV park. He made it from the RV, which was at the back of the park, all the way to the office before I grabbed him.
Wow.
And the whole time I was following, I was like, can you stop? Can we talk this out? You're taking a shower. It was all over him not wanting to take a shower.
Yeah, what 6-year-old take a shower? None. Want to be dirty all the time.
Yep. And if he could got by with it, he would have slept outside. He's still that way, though. If I was telling him it was okay, he would walk outside to sleep.
Okay. You were in an RV park. You were in an RV park?
Yeah. We lived in a camper for 2 years.
Wow.
The whole plans were I was going to travel because at the time was actually making money doing, offline or online work. And the plans were to travel. Well, the motor blew up in the truck before we got even halfway down the road. I was like, well, that's my answer. We ain't going nowhere. Besides not your mother's,
The motor blew up in the truck. Dang.
Yep. And I'm like, I'm not spending any more money. Because at the time I had bought a older vehicle. It was one of those I could work on it type things.
Wow.
And he got irritated because it was I was like, that way the dogs can be in the cab with us. Child, because it was Explorer, a Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
And, everything should work fine. Plus, hook the camper up to the back of it. That gives us more than enough room. Well, he wasn't happy with that, and it was time to get rid of it. He decided, and he traded in, and we got halfway down the road, and the motor blew up. And I looked at him, I was like, well, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Oh, my goodness.
At least mine was running.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Believe it or not, it was cheaper than living in the house. Currently, we pay $850 a month. That's not including, all the services, including, like in an RV park, you get the rent. If it's $800, most of them rent, electric, internet, the whole hookup.
Yeah, they have Wi-Fi and stuff. Yeah.
So that's where I weigh stuff out. Which one's cheaper? And at the time, Nicholas was still little enough, it worked.
Oh, there it is. It took 40 minutes, D. 40 minutes for the train to come by. 40 minutes.
Last night, it took scared the living crap out of me. The first horn was so loud, and it wasn't one of the, short ones, like where it goes and stops, goes and stops.
Yeah.
Like it started and it went and stopping, and I was like, what's going on? Someone on the track? Seriously? You don't hear that thing. I just...
The conductor must have been in a bad mood, or the engineer, whoever it is, must have been in a mood.
And then I didn't hear it afterwards, so I don't know if something was on the tracks or what.
There it is. Fantastic. All right. Well, you did before all sorts of drainage and stuff. Still getting over something that I caught like last Thursday, Friday, and got all sorts of mucus and stuff that my body is still producing. Maybe it's because we got down to like 40 degrees here, and maybe that
got cold here.
Huh?
I said it got cold here.
Did it?
Yeah, we were cold for like 3 or 4 days. I was like, Jim needs to hurry up and warm back up. I don't do the cold.
Me neither. That's why I live here. But like I said a couple days ago, it was that Tampa set a new low record, 39 degrees a couple days ago.
Oh, dang.
Crazy. But yeah, you had asked me. I of course had brought it up. What we could possibly talk about, maybe for the rest of the time, is tomorrow's episode of Unfounded podcast is a combination of 3 solved disappearances that were once featured on the podcast, and these are 3 that were recently resolved. And all resolved the same way, and the disappearances themselves are somewhat similar, even though you could say that the 3 guys who went missing and have been found are somewhat different. So that's what I chose to take a look at, looking at those 3 resolved disappearances. In fact, I should have started doing this a while ago with some of the episodes, and not just telling people about how some of these are getting solved, but going back over them and seeing what we got right and seeing what we got wrong. And I'm happy to say that I got these 3 right. But what's also interesting to me, in all 3 of them, there was a strong opinion out there that all 3 of them were foul play as well, and I don't think that happened in any of them. But probably of them, you're most familiar with chances, right, Dee?
Yeah. I would say so.
Because that happened out in your area of the United States. And, I know that his family did quite a bit of media and stuff over the years. Did you, I'm guessing it's been a while, since we featured Chance's disappearance, maybe 2021? Something like that.
I heard it from your channel first.
Right. Did you have any impressions? Being that, once again, like I said, I think you know this one the best, so I'll ask you about it. Any impressions about all that? What were your impressions back then? And I know that you've seen all the media they've done, seen all the posting they've done on Facebook and elsewhere.
I kind of teetered back and forth because sometimes, if you listen to one, you'd think it's the ex-wife, and then if you listen to the ex-wife, you're like, oh, how could I ever judge you? And go back to the, he walked off and something horrible happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe picked up by the wrong person, whatever. But
yeah,
that was probably the only one that I've ever really teetered on.
You really, of course, as he got into this fight with his in-laws. And, he told them, well, I'm just going to walk back to Wyoming. Do you think that was what he was attempting to do?
Yes.
You do? I do
think
too.
He was that hard-headed.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I think I figured out where they lived in Wyoming. and it was gonna be like a 3-day walk or something. I mean, it's something crazy. The average person only walks at like 3 miles an hour. And it was like 180 miles or something like that. It was something crazy, whatever that calculates out to be. But I still think that your insight and my insight is correct. I think that's what he was trying to do.
After he was found, it makes me go, that's what he was trying to do, is he was trying to go home.
And then something happened. Of course, there was that storm. Did he get caught in that storm? And did some tree fall on him or a limb? Could he not find any shelter? Did he try to do something stupid in the storm? We don't, I don't know if we'll ever know. Of course, his remains probably were very decayed at the point they were found a couple months ago. But,
Yeah.
is there any signs that something fell on him, or was he trying to climb up somewhere and fell? Was he trying to hike somewhere? And, what could have happened? Because, in contrast to the other two guys that I talk about tomorrow, Jesse Farber and Zach Carey, these are both guys who had drug issues and maybe some mental health issues, and it very well may be they could have overdosed, or with mental health issues, who knows, they could have tried to do something stupid out, and that got them killed. Where that's just not possibility with chance, because I don't think he had any addictions, and I don't think he had any mental health problems, although in the moment he might have been seeing red. He was just so ticked off and everything. So I don't know. That's why I decided to combine those three and show how they're similar, but even though the guys that went missing are a little bit different.
Ah.
Yeah. But any insights you want to add to that?
Just that I think that whenever you look back on the case, you see all the signs on Chance and what his intentions were versus what was put out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going back, if I think if people go back and listen to that episode, maybe the first time or the second time, I don't know. You can really go between the lines on this. You could certainly, I think, hear from his mother and thinking that it was foul play, but being that I, would kind of know where he was found and everything, I just, I never considered that to be a possibility in any way, but now I certainly don't think that. But there were certainly people out there, putting it out there. Well, there was the video of him, at least 2 videos showing him walking around this town. And then, the idea, well, did he come to his senses? It's like, this is crazy. I can't walk back to Wyoming. And so he decided to go back to the house. And then, of course, something happened there. They continued their argument. I can see why he might entertain that, but to think that all those people kept their mouth shut over something like that, it's a little hard to imagine.
Well, that's like, okay, let me reframe back to Summer's case, and I hate doing this.
I know it's one. Yeah, I know it's one you know well, so that's fine. Yeah.
If you think about it, you don't just have Dawn and Candace with Summer's case. You have Grandma, which was Candace's mama,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the 3 boys. And neither one of the 3 boys have talked yet.
Mm-hmm.
They've been out of that home since 2021.
And how old were the boys at the time?
The oldest is now 16.
All right, so plenty old enough to have seen and understood something wasn't right or something. Yeah. Huh.
So my theory is that, that if they would have done something, I'm pretty sure by now one of the boys would have rolled on their parent.
or slipped with somebody, or been at school and slipped to a teacher or to a fellow classmate or something, but nothing like that's happened.
Nope.
Huh.
Or to a counselor, to anyone.
Right. Right.
And we haven't heard anything from the boys. And it goes, okay, so you would think that the death of their sister would be something that would stick out in their mind if it happened at the house.
Mm-hmm.
But then you still have grandma, and you would think by now she'd feel safe enough to talk because she's not at home anymore. She's living with her sister. So the only theory I see is she walked out of that house.
Man.
And either ran into the wrong character or
Like Michael did or something.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, that is the episode tomorrow, and I'm calling it A Tale of Three Cases.
Oh, wow.
I kind of revisit all three of them. And the thing is, I talked to, the funny thing is, I might have set a record this week of talking to new people this week, but just nobody quite ready for an interview. And like I said, I was supposed to do something this past weekend. I was actually going to interview another police officer for a disappearance, and unfortunately, he got caught out on a warrant, and we weren't able to hook back up, to make time available. So I thought, well, let's take a look at these three different disappearances. We went quite a long time with no unfound disappearances being resolved, and then we had Shanna Boydo's, and then it got quiet again, and then in succession, Chance, Jesse, Zach, all it seemed within a couple weeks of each other. So I said, well, let's take a look at that. So I go through the generalities of their disappearances and what everybody was thinking at the time, what I was thinking at the time, what I wrote in the Patreon blog, how they got resolved. And then I get into, these disappearances aren't this difficult. Why is it that, these guys were missing as long as they were? Like Jesse Farber was missing 10 years. And, and he was found, I verified this evening, he was found right in the area where everybody thought he was. How was he missed? Like I said, 10 years. And all of these guys were found by accident, by hikers, by ATV riders, by hunters, whatever. None of these guys were found due to a coordinated search. So I take a look at all of that, why it probably, these all went down the way they did. So that's the episode for tomorrow. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting.
Anything else that's been on your front burner, D, that you've been working on? Anything that's caught your eye?
So, have you heard of the Ashley Buzzard and Melody Buzzard case?
Recognize the name. That's about it. Tell me about it.
9-year-old little girl with her mother take a road trip to the Four Corners area. The mother comes back home to California without the child.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And is this the woman who was wearing wigs and all that?
Yes.
Right.
She went to court yesterday because, supposedly she was holding a hostage. Well, she got sent home today with an ankle monitor. So
tell me a little bit more about this woman. She's crazy, or
I think family members would have you believe she's crazy, but here's my thing. Her mother went on the run with her when she was 9 years old.
Oh, really?
Due to the fact of an ex-husband. Well, Ashley's dad, Yeah, is it actually? The child's dad is dead.
Okay.
So I don't know if she slipped into some type of said, you know what I mean, psychosis
Yeah.
because her baby's 9. She thinks she has to hide the child, or what the deal is.
Wow.
But I do believe that, and once again, I believe this child's alive.
Oh, you do? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's hope so.
I hope what she did was she went and dropped her off with remember up there in Utah, Colorado, you know, that little area there.
Colorado
Yeah,
City. Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, it's like a different country in that area. Yeah.
yeah, you had the reservations there.
Yeah.
And what if,
Yeah,
someone
they
took the baby in?
yeah, they know how to keep their mouth shut. Like I said, I know only reason I know about that area is because my brother Brian used to be a truck driver living in Utah, and sometimes there would be some shortcuts to get around the scales. But even my brother Brian, who very brave guy for in a lot of different things, he was like, "I'm not driving my truck near there. Just too weird, too crazy, too cult like stuff. Had nothing to do. Of course, there's reservations there. It had nothing to do with that, but." That area, that border right there, Utah, and just really, yeah. And he goes, "No, I'm not going in that area." So you're saying that the girl could be in that area?
Yeah, I do believe because that's where the area she took the child to
Wow.
on this road trip.
All right. So you're following that. And how long, you'll have to remind me, how long ago did this happen?
October 9th.
Man, so we're already over a month into this.
Yes.
Oh my. Yeah.
I just hope she didn't do something to the child while being in this, you know.
So she goes and does that, comes back. Does she not thinking that people would not recognize that the daughter's missing? Or
Well, I guess she homeschools the child, and because the child hasn't been attending class, the school called out CPS.
and
And that's whenever they discovered.
her wearing those wigs and everything, that is a bad sign. She
And
certainly.
switching out license plates.
Excuse me.
She also switched out her license plate too on the rental car from the California license plate to a New York license plate, and then switched them back when she got it back to the rental place.
That is preconceived.
Meditated.
Premeditated. Yes, there you go. Oh, I wonder. Well, did she just once again? This doesn't. The thing is, being that this now, what you're saying sounds premeditated. It's going to be hard to argue that she was crazy doing this.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, that she had thought about for a while.
But could it be that she knows how to do all this because of what her mom did to her when she was 9?
Could be, but the thing is, I guess she didn't go missing.
Exactly.
So something very well may have been motivated by what she experienced, but I guess she took it one step further, if you want to think of it that way. She did something maybe that her mother didn't. Or maybe, what do we know? Maybe she did go missing when she was 9 years old and was found alive, and I don't know, but.
Well, from what I've found, no. So far, no.
Huh.
So what do you think about the David
Oh,
situation?
yes, right. We talked about that too. Her being no charges filed yet,
Nothing.
which is crazy.
We haven't
It's
got an autopsy report yet either.
seemingly crazy. but you know, it seems the problem is they can't figure out how she died.
No.
And I guess she did that to her. It seems like the work of guilt, but you know, and I guess the term that are we determine how she died? Who may end up charged with
All I know is I believe that we will know something, hopefully, whenever we get the autopsy. I do know that the PI is the same PI on Sebastian Rogers' case. SF investigate Steve Fisher. Um, he is been hired by the homeowner to do an investigation. Okay. And he found some stuff.
You know about him from Sebastian's case. Is he competent or not?
I like Steve.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I know people have mixed emotions about Steve, but I mean, if it wouldn't have been for him finding what he did on the Kylie Rodney case, Kylie Rodney would still be lost in water and people would still believe that someone has her somewhere, you know.
Okay. All right. So he's trying he's been assigned by the homeowner. He's been hired on
the homeowner has hired him.
Because I have to admit, in reading what I have about it, it does seem, you know, if they can't prove how, you know, how she died, then what are they going to do?
You do know?
I mean, that's...
We do know that there was prescription bottles found in the home. I haven't looked to see what the prescription bottles were, but others have. I'm pretty sure out here.
Just wonder what exactly the plan was. You know, that's once again not thinking of it in a logical terms, but simply usually when people commit crimes, they like to get away with them. So whoever did this, how did that person or persons think they were going to get away with this? By chopping her up, putting her in the trunk of that singer's car and just leaving it parked there. How did they were going to get away with it?
Okay, I want to know where everyone keeps finding that he chopped her up, or they've chopped her up.
Well, she was in pieces. I thought she was.
They found her. They have yet to put that out. See, the news put out one thing, and if you read what everyone else has put out, she was found. It doesn't say chopped up, but she was found in the trunk of the car.
I thought she was dismembered.
No.
Huh. Well, that would give them a better chance of figuring out what killed her, I guess. So I guess if I'm wrong about that, I'm not necessarily mad about being wrong about that.
But it has yet to be released via law enforcement that she had been chopped up. Now, we do know that her body was sent up for an autopsy before they cremated her and buried her. We are still awaiting the report of that autopsy.
Okay, then I'll go back to my previous question. So how did somebody think they were going to get away with a crime if she wasn't chopped up? Putting her in that trunk, parking that car there, and then just crossing their fingers that she doesn't get discovered? Or is this somebody...
Well, let's say that she got... Since we know that she was living in an apartment close to the house, but not in the house, let's just be devil's advocate and say, let's say she got really, really messed up on some type of medication, probably meth, or a Coca-Cola, one of those two,
Ah,
and she crawled off into the front of the car, which he was letting her drive around while they were getting ready to leave for the tour. Well, we need to take the car at least home, right?
all right. So
And
what you're saying is, are you sure that she didn't crawl into the trunk and die and nobody knew that?
yeah.
Wow. Look at you, D. Look at you getting creative but sensible.
Well, you keep telling Michael he better watch out. He's going to be buried in the backyard.
Would you say? I'm sorry. Would you say?
You did tell Michael he was going to be buried in the backyard. He better watch out.
Yes. Right. My lips are sealed, D.
Oh.
Sealed. All right. So, being that I thought she was dismembered, I thought we could rule that out. But if you're telling me that she wasn't, then I guess that's a possibility. She's just so ripped or high or whatever. She goes and locks herself. Maybe she just dies of exposure. Maybe it's too hot in the car or something. She dies of dehydration or something, and nobody knows that. Wow. Oh, my goodness. But the thing is, though, the car was parked in some weird place, though, wasn't it?
It was in front of the house, in front of the tree line on the road.
But I thought that it got towed or something, and
It got
somebody
towed to the tow
something.
lot, and it was in the tow lot, and they called in about the smell of the smell of the Tesla.
Right.
And
But
so the cops come to investigate it, and that's whenever they found her.
okay, why did it get towed?
Because of where it was parked in the street.
Okay.
We're talking about California. You park in the street for too long, they're going to tow you.
Trouble. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that I stand corrected on that. I'm gonna have to look that up. Was she dismembered or not? Why did I think that she was? It is
Because news media has put it out there that way.
I was thinking maybe aliens just beamed that into my head.
Hey, have you watched the Northern Lights?
No, I've not seen the Northern Lights. No, I missed them. No, I did not. Although I was told that they came because of whatever's going on. They came down this far into Florida, which is as rare can be. Missed it. Maybe they're still going on. Maybe I go out there tonight. Maybe I can see them. But no, I've not seen them.
Oh, because I live in town, and you'd think a town this size, you would still be able to see them. No.
Too lights too bright. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that orange light, so it blinds me.
Well, that's all I got for tonight, D. It's been a great talk tonight. We covered a lot of material in this hour.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. And I'm tired, man. I'm feeling better, but I just feel like bleh. But I got a lot done today, but I can tell that tonight it's not going to take me too long to go to sleep. That is for sure. For sure.
Well, there's something triggering an upper, whatever, respiratory, cold, whatever, in everybody
Yeah.
right now. And I don't know what it is, but think about it, you guys. I still have the remnants of pneumonia.
Wow. I was coughing up chunks of mucus and stuff, yesterday. Even though I really had not been feeling sick since like last Friday, Saturday. And just yesterday, I'd be sitting here and I would start coughing, and boom, something would come up, and I was like, "Wow, okay, yeah, all right, D. Well, I'm gonna go. Good talk tonight. Good seeing you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming by.
All right, you have a nice night. See ya.
You too. Bye. Y'all, I've lost a page that I was wanting to look at. Read to y'all. Thank you guys for stopping by. Please remember to leave a thumbs up. Bye, y'all.